If you show up with an attitude of something to prove, don't be surprised when the world keeps asking you to prove yourself. Hey there, this is Tripp, and I'm making this video from Muscle Beach in Santa Monica. I've had to sit this way around with the sun behind me because the wind is coming off the sea, and otherwise it's going to blow on the mic, so please forgive me if I come out somewhat in silhouette. The video is about having something to prove, showing up in the world with an attitude of something to prove. Now, I'm making this video because a couple of days ago I made a video on tips for increasing your success rate as a hypnotist, but this particular point counts for any area of life. Okay, so this is something I point out to people when I'm doing developmental coaching with them, as much as I do when I'm helping them develop as hypnotists. If you show up with an attitude of something to prove, don't be surprised when the world keeps asking you to prove yourself. Okay, this is a key idea because a lot of people come from their insecurities. They want to prove something. It's there bubbling under the surface, and it subtly undermines their solidity, their ground of being, so to speak. So this is something to start to become aware of. And you may not be necessarily thinking, right, I've got something to prove in the forefront of your mind consciously, but you can be sitting there bubbling under the surface, waiting to be provoked by somebody. I'm going to give you a couple of quick examples. When I was coming into the US a week or so back, a couple of weeks back, I was coming in to speak at Hypno Thoughts in Las Vegas, and as I went through customs, I was asked, what do you do for a profession? To keep it simple, I said, I'm a hypnotherapist. And the lady who was checking my passport and stuff said, hypnotherapy, I don't really believe in all of that. And at that point, that's like a trigger. It's like an invitation for me to prove myself, or prove what I'm doing. But I didn't take it, and I didn't want to take it. I simply said, well, a lot of people don't, and left it at that. Now that is a far more powerful answer. That's somebody going through customs, right? They're checking my passport. But if I wanted to work with them further, that would be a strong answer, because it shows your grounding. It shows you have nothing to prove. I'll give you another quick example of a client that I was working with, a new client who I've been introduced to via the charity that I do some work with. We did some very powerful work in the first session. They were deeply absorbed, fully absorbed in the hypnotic work. But afterwards, he said, that was really interesting, but I have to be honest and say I'm very skeptical about this stuff. So my response at that point was to say, well, that's good. Why wouldn't you be skeptical? There's no reason for you to believe in this yet, and I would recommend that you remain skeptical until you start seeing evidence of real change showing up in your life. So what I'm not doing, I'm not going, no, this is good, this is valid stuff, there's a lot of scientific backing behind it. I'm saying, yeah, be skeptical. Be skeptical. It's a perfectly human thing to be. Why wouldn't you be skeptical? And I endorsed continuing to be skeptical. So if you make a habit of this in any area of your life, you get into you're pitching your business services, whatever, watch out for the desire to prove something, okay? Watch out for it, because it will undermine you. Keep it simple, keep in your grounding, just go with it. Let people have their doubts, let people have their skepticism. Be grounded in your own truth, your own reality. Show up through that, and you will show up strong. If you like this video, and especially if you got something useful from this video, please do like it here on YouTube by clicking the thumbs up just below the video player. And also, if you haven't subscribed yet, subscribe to the channel right here, and remember to switch your notifications on.